mean, think about how long we've been having babies. You know, we've been having babies for hundreds of thousands of years, and women do it. You know, you can absolutely do it.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to this episode of Mom Talks with Krista. I'm your host, Krista, and we have a very special episode for you today. A lot of you guys don't know this, but Mom Talks with Krista was a show primarily on YouTube before it was ever a podcast. So we actually have a lot of episodes that didn't quite air on this platform. And, you know, recently I was going back through and kind of watching some of them, and I was like, these are amazing episodes. I think they deserve a reshare. So today we are going to reshare one of my favorite episodes, and is with Liesel Teen. And she talks about the top 10 things you don't know about labor. And for anyone that is either a new mom or knows someone that's about to be a mom and wants to give tips, this is an awesome episode. Liesel from Mommy Labor Nurse is one of our favorites to have on the show. I think she's been on like 7 times or so. We work with her regularly. She is just the best. She just knows so much about labor and delivery and newborn care. So I wanted to replay one of her interviews where she talks about the 10 things that you should know about labor. And so just check it out. It's a good one. It's a great one to share with anyone that you know is about to be a first-time mom. And yeah, we have a lot of fun with it. And mind you, this came out over a year and a half ago on YouTube. So we've made a lot of changes to the show since then. So you might notice, you know, hey, it might sound a little different, but all the information there is great, is still great, and it still works. So without further ado, here is my interview with Liesel Teen. Enjoy. I'm here with Liesel Teen from Mommy Labor Nurse, and she is going to talk all about top 10 surprising labor and delivery facts that you might not know. This one's going to be a lot quicker than the other ones. We're kind of going to run through them and just kind of shoot some facts your way. So, all right, welcome back, Liesel.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Always a pleasure. I love to be on here with you, Krista.
Yeah, we always have so much fun. And I mean, like,
I know.
I think this is your 5th time now?
I was trying to think. I think it's either 4th or 5th.
So number 10 is nurses care about your partner too.
Yes. So that is something that I feel like I failed when I went into labor and delivery to have my son, is I didn't prepare my partner, my husband, for the birth of my son. And he was just kind of in the corner, like crying, you know, like just like anxious and like, oh my God, what's happening? Mm-hmm. And I distinctly remember my nurse, I had like a doula there, it was one of my coworkers, but my nurse going over to him and comforting him and like helping him. And I still totally do that, like with all, you know, almost all of my deliveries. I'm like also thinking about your partner and the other people that are in the room, because yeah, what you're going through is maybe traumatic or painful, let's say painful, but it's also really, really hard to watch somebody that you love go through pain. So it's really, really important to, you know, not only care for the patient who's experiencing the pain, but also, you know, look to the other side of the room at their partner or their mom or their sister or whoever and care for them as well. Because that, yeah, it's something that I do in practice, but like I totally neglected, you know, preparing him for delivery. But good nurses definitely do not neglect your partners. We are trying to care for everyone in the room.
So this next one, number 9, you might curse or get angry with the nurses because you're in pain, but they won't take it personally.
Yes. And that happens quite frequently. There have been a few patients that I've taken care of who are disrespectful and just not very nice. And that's just their personality. Like I had a patient like this a few weeks ago, and just disrespectful throughout the whole, you know, even afterwards. Usually if you're in pain, you're going to be out of your mind. I mean, it's okay to curse at your nurse or, you know, just be kind of out of character. We kind of expect that. It's not something that I am like, ugh, like, why is she calling me a B word or whatever? Like, I'm not going to take that home. 90% of the time, if that happens and somebody's like, you know, she'll she'll say something to me or whatever. 90% of the time after delivery, they are like, I'm so sorry I said that. Like, what was I saying? Blah, blah, blah. They're like giving me a hug. It's fine. So if that happens to you and, you know, you are out of character or something, you're like calling your nurse or your doctor names or your husband or partner or whoever, like, it's just usually because you're in transition, you're in pain, and nobody's going to take it seriously. It's a special circumstance, so it's okay to be a little out of character. So definitely won't take it personally.
Number 8, the nurse will treat you the same way she treats all of her patients.
Yes. So absolutely. Like, I would hope that you would go into labor knowing that you're going to be treated the same way, regardless of your sex or your gender. Well, not your gender, but, you know, your sex or your race or your religion or whatever. We strive to treat patients regardless of, you know, where their background or whatever, the same. You know, I'm going to treat somebody who makes $1 million and is, you know, hoity-toity, whatever, the same way, you know, somebody who's having a baby who is in prison. Or
Number 7 is if you are in active labor, you're probably the nurse's only patient.
Yeah, so that is just a staffing ratio that we do. Most hospitals, you know, a good hospital that has good patient staffing ratios, if you have an actively laboring patient and they are getting ready to have a baby, you know, they're close to delivery, you're usually going to be my only patient, and I'm going to be in there with you the whole time. It's not like I have 4 or 5 patients going on. Now, if you're in labor and delivery and you're not quite active yet, you know, maybe it's busy on the floor, I might have another patient that I have to tend to where I can't be in there the whole time. But if you're getting ready to deliver, we try to keep staffing ratios 1-to-1 at that point.
Number 6 is modesty is out the window.
Yeah. So my quote was, I haven't found a way to help deliver a baby vaginally without being able to see your vagina. That's just how it goes. You can't go in there blind.
Right.
So yeah, that is something that I think some people, as they're preparing for delivery, they might not realize that, hey, like, these people they're going to see every part of me. It's not just going to be your vagina. I'm going to see your butt and your boobs, you know, especially if you're breastfeeding, I'm helping you breastfeed. You know, it's not like I have the door open, I have the curtain open and people are just walking, you know, going to see you. You know, I try to keep it as private as possible and, you know, close the curtain when I have to, and, you know, and have people step out, you know, if you don't want them in there while we do an exam or whatnot. But yeah, unfortunately, modesty is something, if you're modest, you know, that's something that kind of goes out the window when you do have a baby. When I talk about modesty, a lot of people talk about like pubic hair and how that is during delivery. Like, do I shave? Do I not shave? Do I wax? Do I not wax? And that, you know, do what you got to do. Like I tell people, we are not concerned about your pubic hair as labor and delivery nurses. Like, we're concerned about taking care of you. So don't feel like you have to shave, you have to wax, you have to be like super groomed down there if that's your norm.
So number 4 is sometimes emergencies happen.
I try to prepare you if an emergency arises. Let's say you need an emergency C-section, or, you know, you have a shoulder dystocia or some kind of birth emergency happens, especially with emergency C-sections. Most emergency C-sections, there's going to be things that happen where we're kind of preparing you for it. And we're saying, hey, like, your baby's heart rate isn't super stable, or, you know, you're starting to get out of fever, or, you know, whatever it may be, we might be trending towards a C-section. But there are certain circumstances that happen where it is a true emergency. Nobody is prepared for it. We just kind of have to like say, okay, this is what's happening and let's go. And I might be kind of doing things to prep you and not explaining things. I'm trying my best to explain things as it kind of happens so you can be prepared for it. But unfortunately, labor and delivery is very fast paced, and a baby can drop their heart rates very, very quickly. It's not like an adult patient who is deteriorating, who it takes a long time. Babies are just like, you know, or, you know, their umbilical cord gets really clamped or their placenta all of a sudden, stops working because it's ripped off of their uterus. And it's like, bam, we got to go. So yes, unfortunately, emergencies do happen. It's always scary for everybody involved. And I'm going to try and do my best to explain to you what's going on. But sometimes I just have to do stuff, and, I just do the best I can.
Number 3 is things might not go quite as planned.
Yeah, so that is going along with that question, yes. And that one also is if you have something in your birth plan that you're hoping might happen, it might not happen. We try to stick to birth plans, and we try to stick to your birth wishes as much as we can, but birth is very unexpected, and these sometimes things happen. You have to get induced because of XYZ. You have to break your water because of XYZ. And so I always tell people when they're kind of writing out their birth plans or they're thinking about their birthday to be really flexible, because, your baby, you can't control really what your baby's going to do.
Number 2, most nurses are on your side.
Yes. And that goes along with the whole birth plan thing. We are definitely not trying to squash your birth plans. So my job is to advocate for you. Okay. My job is to stand up for you if something isn't going to plan. If you bring me your birth plan, I'm not saying, oh, we can't do that. 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 I'm saying, okay, maybe we can't do this, but we can definitely do this. We'll work with you. I'm trying to advocate you. We're not, if anybody's watching who's like super anti-medical, most medical providers, if you find a medical provider who is, you guys are on the same page, you're more likely to trust them. We are definitely absolutely on your side. We want the best for you.
Number 1, labor and delivery is nothing you've ever quite experienced before.
Yes. So I like to tell people, because I get this question a lot with first-time moms, is like, well, what does a contraction feel like? How do I even know I'm in labor? Blah, 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 blah. So I like to tell people that if you've ever been on your period and you have period cramps, it's kind of like that pain, but it's amped up a whole lot. Like it's like times 100, and you feel that pain not only in your stomach where your uterus is, but your uterus is much larger. So you might have pain way up here, and you might have pain in your back, in your butt, in your legs. As baby kind of descends, you're going to have a lot of pressure down there. It might feel like you have to poop and you're in a lot of pain. So yeah, I tell people it really, prepare yourself as much as possible. Do lots and lots of reading, do lots and lots of birth prep. But it really is, there is no experience like it in the entire world.
It's one of those things I keep hearing too, where it's like, you can't quite explain it. You can explain it only so much without actually like being in it.
I mean, think about how long we've been having babies. We've been having babies for hundreds of thousands of years, and women do it. You can absolutely do it. It's going to be hard, but you can absolutely do it.
All right, guys. Well, there you have it. Our reshare interview of the top things you don't know about labor with Liesel Teen. If you have any more questions about labor, check out Liesel's page, Mommy Labor Nurse. She's on Instagram. She has a website, and there's just tons of information that she offers. She's one of our favorite experts to have on the show. So I hope you guys enjoyed that episode. Like I said, it's one of my favorite. It's just quick to the point, and it's a great episode to send to new moms, or if you are a new mom yourself, to check it out. Also, as a reminder, our YouTube, since we had, this show for a year and a half before it was a podcast, if you are listening on the podcast app, or if you're just a new listener, go back and check on some of the older ones. We have some amazing experts that have come on for the last few years. So it has been so much fun. There's so many cool people that come on the show. So check it out. Thanks for checking in to this episode, and I will see you guys next week for a brand new interview. Hey guys, if you found this or any episode of Mom Talks with Krista helpful, please like, comment, subscribe, and of course, share it with your friends. We release new videos every single Wednesday, and our new podcast is out every single Thursday. So lots of different ways you can catch us. And of course, if you're not following us on our socials, go ahead and follow us there. We've got tons of new content for you every single day. And finally, if you're watching this and doubting yourself, you're doing a great job. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next week.